No. Hi, Jane. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Paul. How are you?
Good. It's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock in the UK.
It's 12 p.m. in Canada.
Which just means one thing. It must be time for spiritual talk.
Yes, it must.
Hi, Alice. Oh, hang on a minute. There's no Alice. There's no Alice.
No.
Hi, everyone. We should explain if you expected Alice tonight. Unfortunately, those little trolls have been doing their business and they've hacked into poor Alice's account. We do hope she gets it sorted quickly with Facebook. We really do. So we're sending her lots of love. Hopefully she can maybe come on and say hello later if she gets the opportunity. But so thank you, Jane, for stepping in last minute.
Very last minute.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
It's great to see everyone coming on. We've got Aspen. Hi, Aspen. We've got Carol. We've got, I can't even pronounce that. Limo di Pimo. That's probably a really poor pronunciation.
That's Liz Wakers.
Oh, hello, Liz.
Limo
hello,
the Pimo is what she said last week.
Oh, okay. Like to know what that's. And Trudy. Hi, Trudy. Oh, we got a lot coming on from YouTube, which is brilliant. We have been having lots of problems with Facebook. Not just us, a lot of people. Hi, Connie. Connie's come on as well.
Hi, Sharon.
And we're looking to go to YouTube as just doing our lives on YouTube at some point. But so if you'd like to subscribe to Spiritual Talk Live, that would be great because we will at some point phase out Facebook. We might put the link in to Facebook, but at this moment in time, Emily's on as well. Hi, Emily. Hi, Jane. Hi, Kathy. It's great to see you all. Now, we are starting a different way tonight. So we want to mix it up. We want to raise the energy. Now, we usually start with the interviews, but we're going to start and bring our guest in about 20 minutes or so. We're going to start with a few messages. And, someone's just asked, do I have a YouTube account? Yes, it's Spiritual Talk Live. Okay, and there's over almost 100 videos of different interviews that we've done. Hi, Rhonda. So, yeah, guys, we're going to start with messages tonight. And you know how Jane works. Did you want to explain, Jane, for those newbies coming in?
Sure. So I talk to people's angels and spirit guides, and I require a question. Usually I can tune in with the person's first name, but because this show is a little bit different, I do require questions to be asked and nothing generalized. Like, don't say, what do my guides need me to know? Because there's so many topics, so many areas of your life, if that makes sense.
Brilliant. And hi, and Transcend with Debbie. She's on in the background. She's watching already.
Yay.
Debbie is our guest tonight. We can't wait to bring her on in about 15, 20 minutes or so. So we look forward to seeing you in a minute, Debbie. We can't wait for that. Emily Mage is on as well. So, okay, who wants to start? Who wants to ask a question? And then we'll go from there. We've got Facebook user says, hi, hope you're both well. And it again highlights the problems that we have with Facebook. We don't know who you are, so please put a name to it because you're obviously coming in from a different platform. Is that where am I moving in
Arizona?
Oh, okay. Okay.
See, I don't know Arizona that well. I don't know the cities. I know there's Tucson. So I kind of need, if you have areas that you're interested in moving to, it would be best if you could put them on the feed.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't copied the link as well. So if you recognize the person coming through, please jump on the link and come and say hi.
What about Carol here? Does my son in spirit? Oh, it's going so fast.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Here we go. Does my son in spirit know his sister is having a baby, please? I just heard, of course he does. He's very much aware of what is going on. I just see, I'm starting to feel quite dizzy. So I think that I feel like it's going to be it's going to be quite a big change, which I know having a baby would be. But he's making me feel like, yes, he is aware.
Awesome. We've also got Carol asking, what is the significance of 444?
Oh my goodness. So from my understanding, 444 means that it's a very powerful number. It means that you are being encircled by ascended masters. So it's very, very powerful.
Yeah, I've got a message. I'm going to go for a message. So, guys, if you recognize this information, please come in and take the message. Okay, I'm going to quickly go into this. I've got a young man. Actually, he's not that young. I'd say he's middle-aged gentleman in the spirit world. He used to love jogging. Okay, and I know I'm not sure what side of the world I'm in. Hi, Tammy. I'm not sure what side of the world I'm in, but I know he would have loved to have gone jogging. He would have loved to have. He was quite an active man. I know he had. Okay, he's giving me two information. I know he suffered with depression as well, but I also know that he had heart issues with him as well. Okay, so if you understand the information coming in, please come in. He's also showing me the Adidas trainers for some reason, and I think they're like retro, old-fashioned Adidas trainers. They've got that look to them. Okay, I do believe the trainers are still here. Well, that was Liz coming in. Sorry, Liz. If you understand this information, please come in and take this information. I know this gentleman was in his late 30s, early 40s as well. So if you understand this information, I know this, like I said, this gentleman definitely had, I'm not sure if he passed with heart attack, but I know he would have had a bypass. And there's issues around his heart because he's talking about it. Hi, Jordan. This is the problem. When you get no one coming back, I understand that. Hi, Emily. Great. Lovely man. A lovely man. Really, he did love his fitness. He'd love to keep, he was fairly trim as well. He wasn't a large man. Also, actually, I might be with you, Emily. Would you understand? Because Emily is a medium, and he's also telling me that that your gift runs in the family. So that's really strange. As soon as I saw you say, I understand that. Can you jump on the link? Can you see the link, Emily? See if I can just copy and paste that into the link again. Yes, that's true. Okay, I'm just going to see if I can. You're probably sitting there in your colors. I'm so sorry, Emily. I'm going to try to get you on to say hi. You don't have to come on the actual camera. Who died some years ago, and he was in the US Army veteran. I believe he knew his son, but would not know. I'm trying to find him, and he helped me. I'm not sure what that message is, guys. Can you see that, Jane? I'm not sure.
I can, yes. I wonder if Facebook user is different from, well, I think it's different from Emily.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, I know. I feel like Mum is still here as well because he's connecting to Mum as well, and I feel that Mum is still here because he's talking about his partner still being here. Okay. Oh, and he's trying to give me I'm not sure if that's Andrew he's trying to give me or Andy. He's trying to give me the name that Andrew or Andy that connects to him. Also, he had a great sense of humor. Paul, that is a message about the granddad, Tracy from Fridays. Okay. Not sure if that connects, though. I'm not sure if that connects. It's really difficult when you have so many people coming in with different information. I'm trying to keep the link. If you understand, Emily, is there any chance you can come into this, Emily? That would be fantastic. Hi, Mario, as well. He's somebody new. It's great to see new people on here as well. Yeah, I think I might have lost Emily, but I'm just going to keep.
Yeah, it seems like it.
This guy, how do I do that? Can you see in the chat? There's a link a StreamYard link. It's got a little duck on it. Press on that and you'll come straight in. All you need to do is give permission and it will go. So the first bit of the information one, I've got a gentleman that would have loved to have jogged. There's also given me another name as well. He's trying to connect him to the name David as well. It's quite strong with him, and Andrew or Andy. Okay, could be tapping into a personal life like their higher self. Interesting. No, I don't believe so, because I have this gentleman standing next to me. I hope everyone is having a blessed day. Absolutely, Jordan. Absolutely. Thank you for coming on.
Emily says yes to David. Andrew was his friend.
Brilliant. Okay, excellent. I'd love to get you in if you can. Also, who's got the cat? Because he's telling me about there's a big cat. No, actually, it's in the spirit world. There's a cat as well, big cat, quite a big, large tomcat in the spirit world. Forgive me for saying this. It's a bit Garfield-like. It's a bit overweight as well. There's a cat in the spirit world. I know this will make you laugh. This man is very generous as well. He's telling me he is very genuine and generous man to a lot of people. I do feel his personality is a bit larger than life. I do believe he overextended himself in terms of all work and no play at times. But he tried to. Okay. Yes, he was very giving. Yeah. I also know his wallet is still here. There's a brown wallet he's showing me. Whether he's saying it because it's closed, but whether he's trying to say it was always open, I'm not sure. Okay. We've got different people coming in asking different questions. But if you understand this message, then please jump in. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to give you this message. Yes, he was very giving. Okay. Okay. I know of the brown leather wallet. It's closed for some reason. I do know there's bits and pieces of his still in there. I believe there's at least 2 or 3 cards of his. There's also a connection to the British Heart Foundation. I believe there would have been some donation. So that would link into what he was saying about heart issues earlier. So I know somebody would have given to the charity. Okay, again, a very generous man. Also, there's somebody in the family that would have been a teacher. I'm not sure if it was him that was teaching, but it makes me aware that there was some teaching in the family. There was a teacher in the family. Also, the name, I'm not sure if it's Colin or Collins. He's trying to give me as a surname as well that connects to him somehow. I'd love you to come in, Emily, because I'd love to hear your voice. You always get that better connection with the voice. Was this guy young also? He wasn't old, Jordan. No, he wasn't. I would say he's late 30s, early 40s. Working up with Claire's.
Okay.
At the funeral, we donated to Heart Foundation. He died of a heart attack. His friend was Colin. Okay. Again, I just want to, again, as I'm doing this, as I'm connecting to him. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to get you to practice, Emily, or we'll have to get you on the show as well, because we'd love to have you come on to Spiritual Talk, because I believe Emily's going to be doing a demonstration for us on one of our psychic nights. Also, I know that you fell over recently because it was all over Facebook and you really hurt your arm just before Christmas, which is really bad luck. But this gentleman is so kind, caring, and charitable, and he just wants to extend his love out to you. So I'm going to leave it there. We're going to do some more messages afterwards. But if you'd like to ask Jane any more questions, we're just waiting for Debbie or Deborah to come in. That will be great, and then we'll crack on with the interview. Then we'll come back to the messages afterwards. If you prefer this format, guys, drop us some feedback. We love that. Okay. Hi, Melody. He was protective of me, so thank you for that. Absolutely. And there's a real kindness of his spirit as well, real kind and genuine, and also not a particularly he's quite a quiet man in certain aspects of his life. You didn't always know what he was thinking. He was quite a deep man. Yeah. He's also okay. He's taking me to August for a birthday. He also is giving me the 18th. Oh, great one. Okay, no pressure, Jane. No pressure.
I saw it. I saw it. Oh,
no pressure.
Okay, Stephanie, will September wedding go ahead or will it be a different date? Okay, will it go ahead or will it be a different date? Spirit is saying that it will go ahead. So I don't know what date it is, but they're showing me that there is going to be a tweak of some sort. I don't feel it's the date. It could be the time, but there's something, I don't know what it is, but they're making me feel like it's like the size of a dot that is going to be changed. So something very, very small is going to be tweaked, but it will be the same date.
Yeah, I was getting that there might be a slight issue with the actual location, that there was going to be a slight problem. You know, what act of God, maybe a flood. I'm joking, by the way. I am joking.
Don't say the word flood.
I'm joking. Okay, but yeah, no, I do. It's going to happen. Absolutely.
Yes, it will.
And Emily, don't worry if you can't get on. Don't worry. We'll help you. Deep thinker, thanks, Paul. Now, someone else has asked, is there a message from my father? Now, I've got a gentleman with me as well. We're just waiting for Debbie to come in, then we'll start our interview. But while we're waiting for Deborah to come on, hopefully she can come on. She has got the link. I've got a gentleman here. Oh, she's here.
Oh, she's here.
I will come back to this gentleman, so I'm going to hold this energy, and it is possible because when I do demonstrations, sometimes I have people come to me during the morning or the day before, and always ask them to come back. So I will come back to this gentleman. So let's bring our guest on without further ado.
Hey.
Hi, Debbie. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me here on your show. It's an honor.
Well, it's a pleasure.
Yeah,
Yes, it
thank
is.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
poor
you so
Alice
much.
couldn't get here tonight, so I apologize. Jane has stepped in at last minute because
Thank you.
Alice has been hacked. So
What?
it's really bad. So we wish her well. Hopefully she can sort it out. We really do. But so Debbie, we always ask on Spiritual Talk,
Okay.
how did you become a medium? What was it for you?
You know, it's understanding what I was feeling into, really. I wanted a deeper understanding of what I was processing with my emotions physically. And that allowed me to take time for myself to dive into wanting to learn and go into more learnings and working with others and trying to process, okay, that's what that meant, or that's what was happening to me. So, having that understanding is the unfoldment that happened for me. Mm-hmm.
So we've just bounced you straight into Spiritual Talk, and
we've
just thrown it at you straight away. Can you please explain? Because you're not just a medium. You do so much more. Can you tell us a little bit more what you do?
Yeah, so I am a Reiki master teacher. So that was my first passion, was for self-healing. So when I started doing that, the mediumship really began to unfold. The ancestors started to come in. I was like, oh, I'm doing energy work, and boom, here comes your loved ones. Let's go in. I know that when they're working, it's basically holding space for spirit in the way the person needs it. So really, I'm not in charge, and I'm just watching. I'm the observer, but I'm going in with the intent. I listen to the needs, but so much more is done behind the scenes that, whoa, like, where did that come from? That was so cool. That was awesome. Sometimes past life work will go in. Soul healing will come in. Soul timelines will come in. Surgery will come in. So lots of different things can happen for the client based on what they're ready for, upgrades, downloads. And, I'm not in charge of that. So when someone says, I want an upgrade, I want to be what's up. And I'm like, well, we'll just see what happens, and we just hold space, and the energy flows the way it needs to.
Because that's a beautiful thing for you to be open to that, because so many people, and whether it's the human ego, but we tend to want to control what comes in. Not whether it's through fear or acceptance, I'm not sure, but to allow and to hold that space, to allow spirit to direct that's quite important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think the blending coming in, I find trance, when we go into trance and we're really giving the word surrender and letting them come in, where we're their voice, where you're allowing them to speak through us, or allowing them to use whatever clairs and senses and everything are for them. We're really giving that opportunity for them to be heard. And I love that. That's my passion, just to get that closeness and to really feel into that soul connection, that just like, oh man, my heart just sings right after, like, that just happened. Like, yes,
Well, it's interesting because we've changed the format or the way Spiritual Talk works tonight. I'm sitting here quite open, connecting to you. And we're talking about past lives, and I'm picking up some of your stuff already. Do you know what?
Awesome.
Do you know? I mean, as a medium, sometimes we come across these experiences, what we did in the past life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever come across that in your own development?
You know, in the beginning, early on in my development, that's where I started. I tapped into some past life work. And so I definitely found myself in different scenarios. I'll never forget it. When one of my girlfriends, she was studying to do past lives, you know, they always have you look at your feet. Oh, look at your feet. Find the attention of where your feet are going. And she's like, I've never seen this happen before. Your feet are just going, pop, pop, pop. There were so many. She's like, there's so many past lives. I'm like, just pick one. So,
I love that.
yeah.
I love that. Was there anything that stuck out for you, though? Was there any experiences? I know we've all been, it'd be nice to be a king and a prince, but I'm sure we've been road sweepers and I like dustbin men, you know.
Yeah, no, I really don't even really try to hold on to it very often. You know, I just kind of let it be and let the healing go. I didn't really give it that opportunity to say, oh, I was this person in this life. I really don't, I don't find myself doing that. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. I guess it's all about being in the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, that was actually, you said that perfectly. I actually found myself saying, why are we doing past lives?
Yeah.
Like we're here in this moment of
agree.
now.
Yeah, especially on a quantum level, we are. What has already happened has happened. You know, it doesn't matter if we can be present in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, there's I can't think of I've gone right out of my head, so I'm having a brain fade. But there's a place in America that they do a lot of research into past lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to a lecture from these guys, and they were talking about some people they've come across a phenomenon where some children are being born with past life wounds, like gunshot wounds. That is so amazing. And it's interesting. There was also picking up on, it was mostly the cultures had that belief system as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the more Eastern philosophies, it was very unheard of in Western culture, but in the Eastern philosophies, and the sad thing was a lot of these children were being shunned by society or schools because they were seen as being omens or bad luck, you know. So is there relevance? Is there something within that? And I know Edgar Casey, he talks about past lives a lot.
Yeah.
And his work.
I find that for one of my friends who really continue to relive that whole love, I feel like love is such a big part of like past, it hits a lot of people in past lives. I find that, I'm so in love and I still can't understand why I feel them so deeply. And I feel love is that key ingredient that they're holding on to. And, you know, when I feel into that for others, I understand that the past life is necessary for some people. And when you were speaking of the case that you were talking about, immediately they just give me the impressions are so embedded in their auric field, and so that reliving of that moment, and that's what I was seeing as you were speaking. So I could understand how hard that could be for someone who's carrying a wound, whether this lifetime or other lifetimes. It's a reminder.
Well, it kind of goes against what we believe. So I believe being in the moment and being present moment, there's always something to contradict something, you know. Always happens. But in terms of past lives, is there Karina Holland? Hi Karina. She's put
Karina.
Many lives, many masters is very interesting. I believe that was by, oh my gosh, I've got his book sitting over there.
So, I do too. Yeah.
Who's the guy? My God, I'm terrible with names tonight. I'm so sorry.
Was it Brian
as well, James? It's not just me. That's great.
No.
Brian Weiss. Thank you,
Brian Weiss.
Oh, Brian Weiss. Yes, I love him.
Suzanne. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's really interesting, but it kind of contradicts our whole belief about being, because why would that child come into this life with a past life wound? So I don't know. There's more to it. I think it's a little bit more nuanced, maybe. I don't know, but and I've kind of got to the point. Well, if you're being drawn that way, then explore it. Maybe it's a part of your soul that needs healing or understanding that. I don't know, but I guess from my experience, I don't feel I need to do that anymore.
Yeah,
so
me
maybe
too.
That's more to the point. I don't know, but can we talk a little bit more about you and your mediumship?
Sure.
Do you do any kind of personal development?
Yes.
Mediums, they get to a point and they don't necessarily develop themselves because they're so busy teaching other people or giving messages, you know, readings and working. So where do you have your time? What do you focus on for yourself?
You know, I actually finished up a couple months back with a mentorship with Jackie Wright, and I actually got to study with her.
Oh,
And
Jackie Wright, she's the
yeah,
secretary at the Arthur Finley, or the chairman,
mhm.
or chairperson, so I should say.
Yes, she's the
College.
president.
Yeah, she's the
Yeah,
president. That's it.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I did have an opportunity to work with her as I kind of got stumbled a little bit within my mediumship, and I wanted to understand more and deeper and depth. And I was like, okay. And that was my own personal healing, my own personal feelings about a situation on a read that I got. And I was like, I need to understand this more. And it had to do with something very personal. I have many people that I know on the other side that have taken their lives into suicide. And so when I was doing a dam and the person was saying it was my time to go, and I didn't say that, and I said, oh, I need to look into this more. I need to get more deeper development to understand this and to allow where that unfoldment continues. And so for me, Jackie Wright did that for me. She brought so much awareness back to me and recentered me and helped me see things differently. When a medium is holding space for another medium and they're so full of wisdom, that impression is felt immediately when you give them that permission to get close to them and for them to come in. And so every time she goes, well, so Debbie, what do you think? And I would get the answer right away because she let me feel into it with her, like, here you go. So it's really nice. And I also found myself diving into different spiritual circles where there's spirit art, or someone's just having a demonstration, receiving the prayers, just holding space and supporting others also gives me an awareness and inspires me to continue to do what I do.
that's interesting, because that's really important that you also find that divinity within yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That I always believe that both go together with our mediumship ability and being able to find that exploration within oneself, trying to transcend into that divine aspect of creator that we tap into. Because when we get the messages from the spirit world, we're kind of tapping into that, aren't we?
Yes.
But it's understanding it from self, which can be really difficult. By the way, guys, I just want to say your dog is beautiful, Jane.
Aww.
He's not well, just so people know he's not well. So if we got any healers, that would be great. You can send love.
Lots of love to the belly.
He actually had an accident last night. He fell off of the bed, and so we're waiting. He's been hunched and sore, which is why he's on my lap. He's not usually on my lap, but we're going to the vet in a few hours to get him checked out. So, he's not usually here, but he's here for a reason today.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
He does look ferocious, so I won't mess with him.
His name is Moose. So,
I'm so sorry.
Sorry about that, but he just popped up. So,
Interesting. So Rhonda's asked a question. Hi, Rhonda. I've got a question from Carol as well, but Inda's asked a good question on that. There's a lot of people. Do you believe in birthmarks are from past lives, Debbie?
I find that people say that that's to be true, but that's not my area of expertise, so I couldn't tell you. But I've heard that. I've heard that too. I've heard that too. So, some say it's the stork bringing you into the world. So,
Well, I used to have a big one on my leg and now it's disappeared. So maybe I healed that past life. Who knows?
Yeah, that's interesting. I have one also. And so I never thought to go back to see if it's still there. So that's, it's interesting you say that.
You're going to be looking in the mirror once you get
I will be. I definitely will be.
So okay. Again, we have a lot of people that are really interested in developing their mediumship. For so many different ways, not just so they can be a platform medium, but for you, is there anything you would change in your journey?
Have I ever changed in my
journey? What would you change anything in terms of, did you go left field where you should have gone that way? So many people wish that. I mean, I wish there's certain things that I didn't do.
Yeah, of course. We're always going to have that. But I think it's also honoring yourself. And again, we're going to go back to the moment and just be okay with those lessons and those experiences. And really trust your gut, give yourself an opportunity to feel into, I'm supposed to do this. And then your mind is like, no, well, I want to do this. But really your spirit and your higher self is nudging you to do it. You got to follow those little golden nuggets. You got to follow those breadcrumbs.
We got lots of people. NJS Services have just said, will you give me a shout for my birthday?
Happy birthday.
I love this channel. My name is Nick. Hi, Nick. Happy. Oh, we've just killed him. Hang on. Let's get him back.
Trent.
There you go. So there he is. Okay, happy birthday, Nick. And he hasn't said how old he is, so we promise we won't tell. Okay. We've also got Carol here with a question. Hi, Carol. Have you got that? Yeah. What is the Claire you most enjoy using, Debbie?
Ooh, good question. I guess the feeling, the emotion, the feeling into it, I'm going to say. I like to feel into what that feels like. So the feelings, for sure, for me, is where I stand out the most. I'm one to go in there like, oh, this person's feeling this way, or the emotion of it. So I'm really into that.
In terms, do you find then with feeling, do you find from the contact you feel the relationship better with the clairsentience?
I can feel, if I feel into it, is it different? Ask the question one more time, Ben. I'm sorry.
So do you feel with using, because you said you like to feel into a contact. So when you're feeling into a contact, do you find there's certain aspects of that you're better at because you're using that sense in terms of, for me, I can feel the relationship because of maybe the love, maybe between the person and the contact you've got coming in.
I enjoy that portion because they could be saying one thing, but you're going to feel into what it really is. And so you're getting the root cause of, okay, I'm feeling this way, but I'm saying this. So when I'm doing the reading, they break it down for me in that way. So yeah, I definitely can do that.
Okay, I'm just going to ask you some questions you get asked when you go to the Alpha Affinity College. They like to know. They like to shake it up. They like to test your clairs. Is there a strong? Yeah, shake it up. Shake this. Yeah. Well, maybe I could have used a better term.
It's all good.
Okay. So, what would you say was your weakest? If there is no weak is the wrong word. Area.
No, that's true. That's good. Clairvoyancy. I see when I'm in the power, but I don't get the images immediately. So I'm more of like a quick see in the middle of the read, but it's not like, oh, I'm in a meditation and I'm seeing all these things. No, I'm actually with the spirit world, with the people. I'm not seeing the imageries as others. So that would probably be my weakest.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to shut up because people are asking questions.
Go for it. No, go ahead. I'm open. Well, I'm totally cool.
Well, Carol's just sent you a lovely compliment. You have such a glow, Debbie.
Thank you.
Do you work with the angels? Do you feel the angels?
I can, yes. So depending on the level of work, when someone's coming in that sense for that psychic healing, that energy work, the angels will step forward and then the blanket of protection will come around them, whether that's my symbolic symbol, and then the work is being done. So there's like a little layer of cover protection. So yes.
But do you find the vibration from the angelics in terms of the message is different to if you're working with guides?
Yeah. So I remember doing a reading and it was like a 4-layer type of read. One was from her angels, and they were like, you already went through this. Do you really want to open this subject up again? You've already healed. You're so protected. And there was a lot of love, and they reminded her of the grief that she went through. And that was a very angelic feeling into the reading. So yeah, there's a different frequency that comes in, and then there's the next message where the soul comes in, and then they do the actual give the information, what they want to hear. And then it's up to her to decide what she does with the information and how she moves with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's different feelings.
So Jane, you work with the angels all the time.
Yes, correct.
Do you notice that difference between the angelics and say a loved one? I know you don't generally work in that way.
I can work in that way for sure, but I find it's easier to connect to the angelic light. That it is definitely a higher frequency, if you want to call that, a higher vibration.
See, I'm wondering it's because I'm a bloke. So, okay. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Because as a bloke, we all have programming. We all grow up to believe and feel different things. Like, for instance, I was working with a group on Sunday evening. And for the first time ever, I was aware of an angel behind me after I finished the evening demonstration online, sitting here where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much aware of an angelic presence, and there was a difference in my mediumship in terms of the message.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether it's because I'm a bloke and blokes don't necessarily believe in fairies and pink
Okay.
things and angelic beings. So, what would you say to people that don't really believe in the angelics, or the guys out there that are sitting there like, "Oh, this is a girly thing"? I'm just going to
Okay.
say,
Well,
what guys say. I'm just going to
I'll
put it out there.
I'll give a story. I was doing a paranormal investigation. Never really, it wasn't something that I normally found myself doing, but I was invited and I said, okay, let's go. And it's at a cemetery. So I'm there in the middle of the night at 10 o'clock and here all of a sudden a silhouette just comes over me of an angelic being. I've never really felt it so in depth where it just literally just sat over me like a silhouette of energy. And then the portals of like a grid opened within the earth. So for me, it's not something that I was expecting, but it happened. And I was with other gentlemen and they're there for the investigation. And I kind of got the download of where I was going and how I was going to work. As the information was received and the readings were received at the end of the cemetery, again, a presence came over me and the gentleman's like, oh, this is where it got really heavy. And I was like, she was in the power, so she got it was too much for her. She was in with full on spirit world, and the last medium that was there was just too much. I said, well, what do you mean it was scary? For me, all I felt was the silhouette of an angelic presence sat over me. I knew I was heavily in a beautiful place of energy. The vibration, it was very loving, so I didn't have any fear of any I wasn't teetered in my work, and I was very protected, grounded in that sense. And
Yeah.
after the work was done, I can just see little lights of whether they're the souls, the angelic specks of them, just flying up out of the areas of the where they rested, and it was like because they were heard, the healing was given, and the ascension I was witnessing. However you want to witness that or your perception of that, for me, it was very peaceful. So here I thought I was going into a dun dun dun, and it was more like, this is so beautiful. It's so angelic. So I can say for me, the scene, you never know, and sometimes it sounds scarier, but it was all out of love. It was love. So feel into it. Give yourself an opportunity to see what that feels like.
I guess, and that's the point, isn't it? Your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have that mindset, then you won't experience these things.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. And thank you for that. So
Thank you.
do you do a lot of paranormal experience?
I found myself doing more than
Yeah.
I have, and it was very different because now you're dealing with a different type of personality, more aggressive. You're dealing with people who have really harmed others, and so I really had a hard time maneuvering through the characteristics and personalities of that. Giving the message of how they were speaking. So I worked through it, but the blend, the connection, the impressions of the different scenarios were so on point, and just it's been really an opportunity to let them come close and work with me and the way that it's been unfolding. So yeah, it's been fun.
Awesome. So we got a few questions I need to go back to because again, I do apologize. I do talk too
No,
much.
it's okay. Me too. We can go on and on and on.
Poor Jane. She sits
I don't
in the
talk
back.
at all.
It's not true. That's not true. Has there been, this is from, hi Serena, has there been an experience that stood out for you with using the feeling?
Yeah, most definitely. When I was going to a paranormal investigation, there was a young lady that was, and it's going to be very personal. So I hope if I'll try to keep it as common as
Sure.
I can. And so for her, a lot of times there's a tragic passing, and you could feel into the tragic passing and the emotions, but there was so much gratitude that she had for all the investigators that came and that have passed and shared her story. And she was grateful for the prayers that were uplifted for her. So feeling into that gratitude versus the traumatic event that happened, that just made me feel so good. because there's hurt, there was trauma, and at the end there was healing. And so for me to go into that was like, oh, that's awesome, this was so cool, you know. So yeah, the feeling, that would probably be one of my best.
Sorry, our viewers just say it as it is. Sharon was talking, I'm referring to the other experience. I can't repeat that, but it's quite funny. Yeah, because a lot of people do paranormal investigations, but they don't always have the same opportunity as mediums to connect with what is actually going on.
Yes.
So we generally tend to fear, because we have that fight or flight within us. So we generally tend to fear what we don't understand.
Yeah.
So Sharon has put it bang on. I understand.
Yeah, but I get it, and at first, going into the first walkthrough, there's an investigation when I did a whole entire walkthrough. And for me, my body, I don't know about you when you're in a mediumship reading, but sometimes we get hot, and sometimes our skin gets irritated, and sometimes we flush, and if we didn't have enough water, our body really takes the hit when we're working. And so as I was doing the investigation, you could feel this presence so close, and they have all the equipment and all the cameras, and they can be like, oh my gosh, she's getting scratched, and there's a scratch coming. But for them, in that sense, it was like, oh, don't let them touch you, don't let them come close to you. And I'm just like, I'm in trance, I'm okay, I'm good. But I can see where the deeper work and the message was needed. When I was in that space of vibration, I could feel into that. And at the end of the day, I honor every soul, and I appreciate how the message comes forward. And the fear, I think I'm more afraid, and I said this in my last interview, was if the door gets shut and I can't open it, or an elevator gets stuck and I can't come out because there's no maintenance. How old is this building I'm going to walk into? Like, those are the things that actually make me nervous. Like, am I going to get lost going into this property? Like, nobody, those are the things I think of versus the spirit scaring me. But yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we've got some fabulous places in the UK to investigate, and I recently did a demonstration at an old pub that's apparently one of the oldest taverns in the UK, and I was very aware of a gentleman with like the 3 peak caps they used to wear in the 17th century. This gentleman came out, he told me his name, and when I told the barman afterwards, because I was preparing to do a charity evening in the bar that evening, and this gentleman came up, he got right close to me, he had a little pointy nose, and it turned out to be Dick Turpin, the famous highwayman.
Oh wow, how cool.
And they used to go around on horses and guns and rob people, but he was a bit of a nasty man, but he was okay to me, because I said to him, look, I don't want no hauntings, I just want to pick up the people's loved ones, and he was quite okay about it. So it didn't come across like a dictator, but we've got some fabulous places in the UK. Do you guys ever go outside of America investigating, or?
I have not yet. No. So for me, it's been a lot of local stuff, and but they're big stuff. So it's been really cool. It's like one of the haunted areas here in California. So I've definitely had the opportunity to work in that, and it's been really cool. They'll have the voice box, and I'm downstairs doing my readings or my dems, and the voice box is calling for me, Debbie, and I'm like, oh,
hang on, you got a voice box?
The teams carry with the voice boxes, and they come with the cameras and the full-on body images, the heat, the things that they come with.
What are they like? Sorry to interrupt you, but
no, so it's cool. So I've had the opportunity to work with Ghost Adventures and be behind the scenes with ghost hunters, and so I've been able to sit with the high technology, right? High tech, they come in so equipped, and so one of the things, I was in full-on trance, and when I was in trance, like, they were able to see the face change. I became the person, and so they got to get that all on camera. And when the voice box is speaking, I was getting the information, and I'm like, did I hear that right? And then the voice box says it, and I'm like, oh man, that was cool, right? So the validation back and forth was really awesome. Some of the words are very colorful, so I was just like, for me, I was like withholding that, like, okay, how do I say this? And then when the machine said it, I was like, okay, I wasn't making that up. That's what I'm hearing. And so it was really interesting to work in that different vibration. It was allowing me to really feel into it with the equipment that they have to prove the evidential evidence that we're bringing forward. One lady had a pendulum with her EVP, like everyone has their own technique, the recording going, the camera going. It was awesome. It's a very amazing experience to be part of.
So the voice box on its own, what is it? I mean, some people say they're not so good. Some people say they're really good. Because they're
Well,
expensive, aren't they? Because you can buy a voice box. I think they're about
mhm.
$2,000, are they?
You know what? Luckily for me, I have a girlfriend who makes them. So I feel like for
Oh,
her prices were really cool. She has some really cool stuff that they're really
okay.
legit stuff that she does. When I was in one of the investigations in a separate home, which is here at they call it the Levy House. It's a Levy mansion. They had me in like an attic. And so I was away from everybody and I kept hearing the name Steve. And then the guy goes, Steve, in the other room. So it was validated what I was getting and what the voice box was getting. And
Oh,
then
okay.
they were saying thank you. And the voice box said thank you. And then all the rainbow colors, like the rainbow bridge, and he's ascending. But I felt like there was the healing that he was receiving, as because his message, again, he was being heard. But what's cool about it is that, you're in this like confined little spot and they're over here listening and it's validating everything. That to me was just like an awe. Some of it can be sketchy, because some of it's radio and it's like it takes a minute to catch. And so there's different, I've experienced from different types of technology where it has that and then where it's just on point. So I find myself in awe every time.
So what do you know what you would expect to pay for a voice box normally?
Mm,
Anybody know?
I I don't know. I would say about 300 to 400, depending on where you're going. Um, I'm gonna radio. Okay, so we went to a show at a Paracon, and the guy who was actually selling the equipment was saying to go to radioshack.com, that it still exists
What?
online. Isn't
What?
that yeah? And
Yes.
sure enough, we Googled it, it still exists. So
Oh my
the
gosh.
guy who was selling equipment sent us to the old school radioshack.com.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
What I find really interesting at the moment, your camera's trying to focus, Jane. Have you
Mine.
noticed that you're a little bit hazy? If you look at my
I feel a
screen
little
and
hazy.
Debbie's screen, well, you said there was someone standing behind you on your left shoulder where the elephants are.
Yes.
Yeah, and your what happens when there's movement in the room? The camera tries to refocus, and you've gone very hazy. So it'd be interesting to see. So if we see you disappear, we know what's happened. Okay.
you
That's
got
fine.
you
I
got
might teleport out of here.
Don't go too far, girl. We'll call you
No,
back, Jane.
Thank you.
absolutely.
I'll take my
Yeah,
dog with me.
I mean, I personally, I don't know, Liz, what the price of a voice box is. Oh, someone's just put yes on $200 to $400 on Amazon. Yeah. So okay, yeah,
That's
quite
pretty.
expensive. I mean, I know when it first came out, there you were paying thousands.
Mm,
And there was one that was going to a church that you could a couple that were taking him around to different churches, and you could literally hear in the box. And some people would swear they could hear their loved ones, and some
mm,
people would say no, can't hear nothing. There's nothing there. So again, it could be about perspective, or people are more able to hear. I'm not sure. But
mhm,
just going back though to your beginnings, Debbie, we'd love to know a little bit because Rhonda has spoken and Carol's asked a question as well.
mhm, mhm.
Um, as a child, was you aware of spirit?
Oh yeah. So if we talk about teleport, I would say about age 3, 4, I was already flying, whether you say with the angels and kind of doing that traveling and witnessing. And so yeah, I definitely had my share of experiences of already working with that, with angelic beings. Mhm.
Yeah. So again, and is there somebody in your family? Is it just you that's mediumistic, or is there somebody else?
Oh no. I feel like where those private, I'm a medium but we don't know the word medium, so like we just know things. So I feel like my family is filled with a lot of sensitive souls and they just kind of keep it to themselves, and then I'll be in there like, so what do you think or what do you feel, and they'll be like, oh, I saw this or I'll see that. So every now and then you'll get a little pull out of them. But yeah, my mom was very sensitive, my grandmother was very sensitive. I come from a line of very spiritual beings, so their prayers, and so I'm around it all.
Yeah, Rhonda's asked, when did you understand what was going on?
Really understand. Great question. So I think I'm still trying to understand what's really going on.
I was going to say, yeah, we can all say that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
really,
No.
I'm always going to be a student. I'm always going to be learning, and there's so much more for me that I'm always open to. But really, when I was having control, let's say control of my mediumship and being able to say, this is who I have, and I know that I'm working with you, and the validation and the confirmation, the confidence, and that's a little different, right? Than knowing, like, versus the first question. But I think that would say 20s really. I was really diving into it, and I really had a full on more of awakening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's interesting. A lot of mediums, though, they normally have some kind of life-changing event before it happens.
Yeah.
But yours was just a natural progression from birth. It was just something you was aware of.
Well, I have lots of different events that have created who I am today. So, I have a pocket full of different events, and so I embrace those. And the more I dive deeper into my own personal healing is what you're witnessing right now in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So Lisa Davis. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
She's disappeared. There she is. The more you trust and give, the more you get, I find.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit more what she means? Because a lot of people won't understand what Lisa means.
I feel like trusting, did I really feel that? Like, you just saw that Jane had someone standing behind her, and you trusted into the frequency and the shift of the camera and how it was moving, and it brought your awareness. You fell into that immediately. So you knew that was something happening and it's about to unfold, and maybe you would have had a loved one in spirit that's saying, hey, I'm with you and supporting you because you have your dog and I got your back. If I were to tap into that more, I really could. But that's trusting. You went into it.
Yeah.
You brought that evidence forward, and you're feeling into it, into your body, and you're recognizing. I just said this last night. Give your body permission to embrace what's coming in. Give yourself an opportunity to feel what that feels like, and give it an opportunity to see how that makes you feel. Knowing that the blend is coming closer, and then there's that message that will unfold in a way that it needs to be received. I know I read fast, but there's also a time where you really sit into it and you really feel into it and you get the unfoldment. So trust it. Trust yourself. You're going in with the intention. So why would you judge or question that?
Yeah.
So trust it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think we've ever asked this question. We've been going for 2 years. We've interviewed some of the best mediums in the world. We've been very lucky with Spiritual Talk, and we've still got more brilliant mediums that want to come on. But Carol has asked, firstly, are you in a relationship?
Yeah, I'm married.
That's me.
I've been
married. So
you or me?
No, I'm not married. I've got a fiance, but I'm not married. But yeah. Anyway, but Carol wants to know: does your abilities scare any of your partners or partner?
Oh, great question, Carol.
Yeah, I've got a story from that as well. But yeah,
it's really interesting. For me, I've been with my husband since I was 15 years old. So I started my journey, very early in life, and so he has witnessed the ups and downs of me processing my mediumship. And so he knew I was working through that, of trying to get the deeper understanding. I'm sure there's periods of times where he may have been frightened of, like, oh my gosh, what is she going through, or what she's experiencing. I don't think fear as a spirit's going to hurt him, more fear of, like, is she going to get this? Okay. Like, is she going to work through it? Whatever I'm working through with the development of that. Right. I do find the kids, I say kids because I'm a mother also. So the kids, I have a 30-year-old and he has friends and their friends.
Hang on. You have a 30-year-old.
Yeah, what?
That one out.
So yeah. It's so
Yeah.
the kids the kids come and they're like, they will make these little foil hats so that they say, Mom, you can't read me. So they're jokingly like will hide themselves. And I was like, you're just amplifying the Wi-Fi. Like, I'm just going to be able to get even more information. So they secretly get scared, but then they play with it. So they really open it up and they embrace me. So I'm going to say they embrace. I think sometimes we get scared when they see the shift, but not scared of spirit haunting them at all. No.
Yeah. We've got Elisa's asked another question here. Sorry, guys, I've got a spammer. I'm just trying to get rid of him now. I don't know why or how he's able to keep sending messages. I've blocked him on so many different things, but he's still trying. So Lisa has asked, great question. I passed messages to my now husband from his grandfather on our second date. Put him off.
Great question. I have passed messages to my husband now from his grandfather. That's
Yeah,
so
I love that. By the way, did you adopt your child then at 30 years old?
Yes, I don't believe you.
Yeah, so I have two. I have a 15-year-old and I have the 30-year-old. And so I started my life young. I was a young mom. I'll be 47. So, and I'm a grandma of twins. So I have twins.
My goodness.
No way.
Yes, I have a boy and a girl. So I'm a grandma of twins.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So, I have that many layers of experience that Paul was talking about. So.
Yeah, I think I've got the spammer, guys. So apologies for that.
No, it's okay.
Someone's asked for a card. Susan, we don't do cards on here, I'm afraid. We do messages, but that'll be later. Good question from Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Do they ever follow you home when you're done?
Oh, I love that. Great question. No. Well, actually, okay. So it's really cool. They don't follow me home, but I'm still active in one of the mansions here, the taverns here. And so I'm always going there. And so I have a great communication with the souls that are there. And so I find myself communicating with them. And even here, I'll find every now and then, if I know psychically I'm going to be talking about them, they're already with me through the day. So it's like we get them to work with me as I'm talking about their home or their mansion, so it's more on a psychic level, not like I'm bothered or disturbed in any way. No, mediumship wise, but I'm not bothered by them. No. Mm-mm. It's funny. I have a rule: don't bug me. And so you'll see spirit all at the door. So when I'm asleep, and sometimes one of my family members are like, "Whoa," and I'm like, "What is it?" You have a line of people out there. I go, yeah, because they can't come in. So no.
Oh, that's interesting. So your children or your partner sees them?
I have family members that do see them. Yeah. My little one, I don't talk often of, but he's got some cool stuff that he can do, I'm sure.
So a friend of mine is a medium, and her partner that she hadn't been seeing very long woke up to an energy in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. He was not happy. Can you imagine? This guy was running down the stairs with half his pants on, running up in a hurry, jumping in his car half dressed and driving off down the road very fast. Mm-hmm. But very funny. It does scare a lot of people, unfortunately, because they don't understand what's happening. But then if you've got them outside the door, it is about your boundaries, isn't it? It's not your time to work, and I think that's really important. Yeah.
But I've also experienced where they come in and they sit down on the bed next to you and they're like, "Hello," and I was like, "Oh, you just sat on my bed. What are you doing?" So it takes a second. Even when you go stay at other places, you're feeling into all the impressions and all the energy that sometimes it's like I need to bring my own sheets, my own pillows, and I'm just like, wait a minute, let me do my thing and send the energy before going, because I'm definitely one that feels into everything. So
yeah. Rhonda's asked, have you ever helped the police in any investigations?
Yes, but friends. I have lots of friends that I have that are a lot of police officers, a lot of kids. So yes, I have on a down low.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's a note from Susan. Hi, Susan. My son used to see black figures at the end of his bed. He was very young and said to me, "I don't like the black men in my room." Mm-hmm. I asked spirit to leave and never see them again. Now, is it just a shadow? That's what I would say. And the problem is with that, it could just be what we're picking up perceptively, because all we can see.
Yeah, I say to my students when they talk about that, especially because of paranormal, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is dark energy or something that's heavy." When you really think about someone that comes forward and they are going through something, I'll give an example. I know someone that has been sick and they're suffering in the streets and they're making bad choices. That's a heavy energy. It can come in gray. It can come in a dark, energetic. We'll just say perception. And then it kind of brings in those colors, and that colors brings in that vibrancy, right? So when we're seeing it, we can just be feeling into the emotion, or we can be feeling into the situation that could be dark or heavy. Feel heavy, but not mean that it's a dark spirit. Does that make sense? It's just the situation could be heavy. So it's all about perception.
Can you see that message from Lisa, Jane? Can you see? Mine's not working properly. Can you?
This one? Is this the correct one? So my daughter got married in the old Goths Manor house. She stayed the night before on her own and had a crowd at the end of her bed. She told them to leave as she needed her beauty sleep.
Perfect.
They didn't know she was getting married in the morning.
But that's perfect, because really think about it. Our loved ones come in, and when we have something positive, something exciting, they're going to come and celebrate with you because they want to be there and support. And that's what our loved ones do from the other side. So it's not all the time that something negative has to happen for someone to show up. It's something positive. Congratulations. And we're here to party with you. So embrace that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And they do as well. They love coming in around birthdays and celebrations. They want to acknowledge birthdays. They want to be close to family. Absolutely. But it does tend to scare people. We always seem to think of the worst rather than the positive, because they're not there to scare us. Yeah. But well, I hope marriage went well anyway. So I hope that was all good. Sharon's asked, do you foresee within dreams? I had a really interesting dream the other night. My partner got bitten by a snake 3 times on the foot, which is not good.
Oh no.
I had to rush to the hospital to get the antidote, and I flew back. Not sure what that was. And on the way I was flying back, my dad has been passed for some years. My dad was just waving at me, which is really strange. So,
oh wow. So what was your interpretation of it? Did you
it could be an anxiety thing, it could be worrying about certain situations, and maybe, I don't know, I helped with the situation because I was the one that got the antidote, if that makes sense. I'm not sure.
So one of the things, when I do some energy work, we allow the snake medicine to come in, and the snake medicine allows old things to shed, and the toxins, the bite is the toxins of whatever you're working through, and the snake eating that, taking it, and dad's like, I got you. So that's
interesting.
I love that. I mean, I'm gonna take that and say you're good. It's good. But awesome. Dreams are crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are.
So Liz has put some on as well. Where is it? Can you see Liz's one? My daughter. Oh, Liz. So Liz has had a couple. Her son saw a monster. Then he said, my daughter also saw blue mean ghosts that would pinch her while she was sleeping. I sent those out and started to guide her. Yeah. When a child has negative experiences like that, do you feel that some of it's their own mind? That I'm not saying there's not an experience going on there, but again, does that child mind create that fear, or does the energy try to create the fear, if that makes sense?
I feel there's a lot of more understanding that needs to be shared with the young one, and explain to them, okay, when you say there was someone here, could it have been Michael Archangel? Is it spirit comes in colors? Are you work with the colors, not so much saying that it's a ghost and looking at it as in a spiritual way. We see colors when we're psychic, and the color energy is coming in for her. What I got was that toy has an impression. So it was a used toy that was given, and that toy carried the impressions of the emotion. So psychometry. Everything has a vibration and frequency, so you can feel into it. So congratulations, you got a gifted child. She's seeing colors, she's feeling the emotions, and so tap into that and allow her to feel grounded and be okay with being present, and cleaning up the toys, putting them in the sun, working with plants. All of that will help change the frequency and vibration for her.
Yeah. Oh, my head is spinning. I've got someone with me. So
mine is too.
My head is spinning. So that's good. Okay, we've got some great questions. Can you see the one from Trudy?
Trudy girl. Trudy's my girl. Do you think, what should I say? Paranormal is actually spirit guides or an illusion to us? I don't know what that is.
No, I'm glad you said that. I looked
Yeah,
up.
me too. I'm like, don't make me say that word.
Don't think that that's okay. Trudy girl, you're my girl. Rephrase that for us so that we can understand.
Yeah, we'll come back to you, Trudy. Don't worry. We'll come back. That's a good. I think that could be a good question.
Yeah.
Susan again. A friend of mine is dying of cancer, and we had talked about life after death. I asked her to show me a sign. Her funeral was on Tuesday, and her daughter gave me a photo of us, and I explained to my son that I was at the funeral and showed him the photo. On the Friday, we were driving down a country road, and my son said, Mummy, your friend is waving bye-bye to me.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing images and things. Okay.
It's probably a legitimate word, but I'm so sorry we don't understand that.
Yeah.
Trudy, it probably is a legitimate word. So seeing things. Bring up her original question.
So I feel like she wants to know, are we seeing it? Is it an illusion? Is it our imagination? And this is the word going back to trust again, right? We got to trust what we're receiving. Do you feel that it's real? It's real. So now we got to go into what's tangible, what's real. And then we go into what's spirit, right? So you got to look at where were you with your thoughts before you started to see that. So spirit will start to work with us if you're already making the intent to make that connection. Just like the wedding, they're coming, they're supporting, you're asking for prayers, you're sending that intention out to the universe. So you want to go back to what were your thoughts at before you saw the image? And then you could fill into that. So you're setting the intention somehow. If you're asking for them to show me, then at that point, you're getting the information they're trying to show you in ways, whether it's not always in our minds, it's always things around us also that they use to connect with us. So one, Trudy, go back to where your thoughts were with that. And if you feel that it's something that's like an illusion, then we always want to make sure that we stay on top of our primary care, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. That's the first. You always want to go there first to make sure you're balanced and you're okay. And if you're continuing to have this situation and then you know that that's where your area you're working on, trust that because you're choosing to work with that. I hope that makes sense.
Awesome.
It does.
Yeah.
What if you feel worthless and with no purpose? Can you see what Tammy's put? This is Tammy.
Yeah.
What if you feel worthless and with no purpose? Not sure what your question is with that, Tammy. Can you elaborate a bit more? Thank you.
Yes, I can do this. I have this ability too, so I know what she's talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jane. Go for it.
Don't really know the answer, but yes, I can. For example, I was cutting a bell pepper in half, and when I pulled the two sections apart, I could see. I actually posted on Facebook, and I said that it looks like my bell pepper is angry because the mouth was wide open, there's teeth sticking out, and it was like slanty eyes. So yes, I do understand that, and I do find that sometimes when I ask for a question and then I start to see images and patterns, I get the answer. If that makes sense.
Very cool. Yeah. That happened to me when I first really had that full-on awakening, and you start to see the imageries everywhere, and you can get a whole upload of it all at one time. Sensory overload. Like, okay, you're overloading me. And at first, for me, I didn't understand it because I didn't have anyone to teach me what that meant. Imageries everywhere. So that would be interesting to ground that and work with it. Go with one pattern at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rhonda's put it's almost like tea leaf reading in a way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's very visual. So you're very visual. So yeah. Go get a crystal ball, girl.
Laura. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Can spirit relay a message of how much time we have with my grandma? That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if she's saying it as an open question rather than being specific. I'm not sure. as an open question, no, in my experience, because that's not ours to have that, I believe. I'm not sure how you feel about that. I have been asked that question. A lady that I knew was very close to death, and I was asked by the family how long has she got. And I believe that we can't play God, that we can't be, even if we even had an inkling, I don't think we should. I don't think it's our responsibility.
I agree 100%. It's such a delicate question, and I pretty much would say, I'm sorry, I don't answer those type of questions.
Yeah.
So as a medium, that's something I don't go into.
Yeah.
Usually when a message comes in for me, when someone is sick and the spirit's acknowledging we're aware of what's happening, that would be a sign for them to say, hey, give them a call. We know that this is happening and we're here supporting the situation. So spirit on the other side usually will come in to show that extra support.
Yeah. Trudy's put another question on it. I have an image on my floor that I think may be a guide, but then sometimes seems to morph into Archangel or Michael or Jesus. And again, I think, what's wrong with that? That sounds brilliant.
Yeah. And that's embracing it, right? That's for you. That's the sacredness of how you're developing that personal one-on-one relationship with you in spirit world. So you got a lot of love in your home, Miss Trudy girl.
Yeah, I love that. All right, okay, Susan as well. But I'm really sorry, I've got a really long question now. Ready? Here we go. I'm not sure it's a question or observation. This is from Susan. I was going to an awareness classes many years ago. I asked for spirit to come close to me. It was a cold night and I had to go outside to get cool, I think she means. I was saying to myself, don't let this door close on me. The door hit my back and then I came out. There was a black cloaked figure walking through the fence. Was that a bad spirit?
Do you want me to?
So would it be? I see. I just don't believe. I see personally. I don't believe.
No. I got a gentleman. I got a father. I feel like this is someone who worked in the property. I feel this person was a very hard worker. There's a lot of aches and pains in my hands immediately just tapping into this. This would have been a grandfather that would have been someone also that would have been cutting wood. And so they were very present with her at that moment. So that's what I was feeling into as she spoke into that. Property is very big, lots of trees, lots of big open yard is how I feel. And so I feel that that's a person that was there at that moment.
Why do we perceive it in a negative fashion then sometimes? So like, I know a lady stopped me a few months ago and said, I totally believe I saw my brother who'd passed away, but he looked so distressed. No, I don't believe that the energy of her brother or the spirit of her brother would come through like that. So why do we perceive it in that way? Is it something within us?
I'm going to say it could be one, you have to always go back to where we are. This is where we do the self-check-in, right? Is it physical? Where are we at with our thoughts, our emotions, and how we receive and perceive the energy? It's always us first because we're the ones processing it. If we're seeing it in that way, it could be that she's not fully opened and we're just getting a glimpse, and all our clairvoyancy is not always open and we're just getting, when spirit comes in, you're just going to get a quick, oh, I missed it, or you got it. And so it could be just one of those like flashing right in, and that's the perception that she got. So everyone is different and how we perceive it is different, but continue to work with that. And I think the biggest message I kept getting all week was like, you're in the energy already. Don't fear it. It's already touching you. Embrace it and bring it in closer. You're not going to, there's no harm in it because you're already feeling in it. Does that make sense? Like
absolutely. 100%. Yeah. Eddie's put, knowledge is always the key and power.
Yeah, most definitely. Yep, I love that.
Yeah, awesome, Eddie. Kathy has put, when my grandson was 3, he had a terrifying dream of a dark figure that has been afraid of the dark ever since. At age 4, he started seeing angels. Now at age 7, it has stopped, but of course still believes even though his parents do not. Hopefully he'll be able to see them again. How can he get over his fear?
I think that's, again, what Eddie says, knowledge, education. This is why we develop. This is why we continue to develop. And is he still a child, a young child? I would go with the I would go into with another medium to find someone who works with children that can really come and help them understand at their level of where they are, tap into, okay, this is where you're working from, and see if we can bring that understanding for them at that moment.
Yeah. Was that your dog, Jane?
That was mine.
Yeah, that made me stop. I'm like, oh my God.
Yours, Jane.
No, mine is very quiet. He's very not happy.
So honestly, I could talk to you all night, Debbie. You have got such a wonderful energy, and I can feel your power. You're an amazing lady, and it's been a real privilege to connect with you.
Yes,
Thank you for agreeing to come on.
Thank you for having me.
But
my honor.
Well, what's next for you? What are you doing? I know you said you're always going to be a student, and I think that also says a lot about you in terms of your ego.
Thank you.
Because
my dog agrees.
Yeah. Can we get your dog in? Can we see your dog?
Oh, he's downstairs and I'm upstairs. Yeah. Okay. So he's a rascal.
I thought he's right. Okay. Yeah. What next for you though?
You know, I have many different things. I am a host of podcast of Transcend with Debbie. Yeah. So I have guests every Wednesday, every Sunday. We're always doing lives with amazing souls like yourself. We have an amazing fundraiser that I'm very proud of. That's going to be May 20th. And this fundraiser is in honoring mental health awareness. And the money's going back to the veterans. And so we have mediums around the world that are going to be part of this, and there's guest speakers. There'll be inspiration, mediumship demonstrations, and healings, and it's from 9 to 3 Pacific Standard Time. It's all online. You can pop in and out as you wish. My friend Rosa Raya, who's one of my healers, will open in prayer, and then David will close in prayer, and he is an amazing soul, just as everyone that's part of the panel. We're filled with angels, surrounded by angels. Awesome. So yeah, so you're more than welcome to jump into that.
Oh, look at this compliment indeed.
Oh, Eva girl, I love me some Eva. Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you, Eva.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying thank you. Before you go though, can guys, if you've shared tonight's on Facebook, just put in the comments. Can you see the comments on the right hand side?
Oh, I didn't even look at the comments up there. I was flowing with you.
That's my job.
Oh, there's Rhonda. Eva's here. Oh, hi guys. Hi, Carol.
Lou shared. Kathy shared. Mary shared. Serena has shared. I think Jordan might have shared. Carol. Oh yeah, they're all saying thank you.
Thank you.
Shared on Facebook.
Stephanie, Sharon.
And to the dog. I'm not sure what that means, Eddie, but that sounds funny. Karina Holland shared. Stephanie Louise has shared.
Thank you.
Do you know whose turn it is? I don't know. It's Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. I think it's mine. I did a quick reading with Melody tonight. That was brilliant. Jane, you've just done one as well. I know Alice has done one.
Yes.
Shared. I did share Jordan's put. I did share.
Awesome.
Who do you feel, John? Oh, Jane Clark has shared. Hi, Jane. Brother. Helene. It's good to see you guys on here. Sharon has shared as well. Who are you drawn to, Debbie? This is. Don't worry, you don't have to give the reading because some places they make you do a reading when they interview.
I don't mind. I have no problem doing a reading. We can go to Sharon. Sharon share?
Debbie, if you want to stay on for 10 minutes, we're going to do a couple of little messages. Do you want to join in with us?
Totally cool. Yeah. You got me as much as any time.
Oh, that's so exciting. We're going to get you to do some work again, guys.
That is.
Awesome.
That is.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
But do you want to pick someone now? And I'll do a free reading for them. So a free half-hour reading.
Okay. So I got Sharon Cheer. I love that.
Sharon Cheer. Congratulations.
Yay.
I'm actually seeing Sharon at the weekend. It sounds like a date, but it's not. Her husband will kill me. So, anyway, moving on. No, I'm joking. People that know Sharon will know. So, anyway. Okay, so who would like to go first? Did you want to go first, Debbie?
Sure, I don't mind. Okay, so tell me where.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll share the link into the
Mhm.
comments, and I'll get that person. If you can start with giving some pieces of information, and then people will come on and we can hear the voice. It'd be lovely to connect with them. We try to
Yeah.
keep the message about 5 or 6 or 7 minutes, and we try to do 3 or 4 messages as we can.
Okay.
As a
Sounds
thank
good.
you for people coming on and being with us.
Thank you.
Let me just put that just pasting that into comments. There it goes. So you might be able to see it on YouTube, Spiritual Talk Live, and Jane Dance Medium on YouTube, or my page, Jane's page. Unfortunately, Alice is not on tonight. I hope she's got her Facebook problem sorted. We do miss her.
We do.
Mm.
So yeah, okay. When you're ready, floor's over to you.
Okay, so are they coming in with us on the live, or are we just reading from the comments?
We just go for the connection. We trust Spirit what they're giving us.
Oh,
And
okay. So just
then the
bring in who I
audience will
have.
go, "Oh, that's my such and such," and they'll come in. Hopefully, if we can
Okay.
get them
I
the
love
technology.
that. Okay, very cool. So I know that I'm hearing the name Gus. So I do want to say that I have the name Gus here, and I do feel that I'm having some pressure within the chest and some breathing issues. I know that this person is someone's father, but I also want to acknowledge Olivia. So I know that a Gus is important and Olivia is also important. And there was some type of fall that occurred is what I want to acknowledge. It's very interesting because I'm very drawn to Eddie, and I know Eddie's name is in here, but I would like to open it up for anyone else who could understand this.
Yeah, this is where we got to wait now.
Mm-hmm.
We got to wait, and Tammy's coming. I'm not
Tammy.
sure she understands. Only come in though, guys, if you understand. My dad had chest problems,
Eddie.
and my sister's daughter is
It's
Olivia.
Yes,
This
and
is
that's
you.
where I was guided to.
Okay, this is for you then, Eddie. Can you come in, buddy? That'd be really great to meet you and see you.
Oh, I got chills. My whole head is just going. I
Yeah, my
love
dad
that.
had chest problems, and my daughter is Yes,
Yes.
yay! Come on, Eddie.
Yes.
Gonna get you in.
Very cool.
Just sit here tapping. Anyone know any good jokes?
No. Cheers.
I'm wondering what you're drinking.
What?
What are you drinking, Debbie?
Mine is coffee, and it's decaf with a little cinnamon and vanilla. So
Nice.
here it's afternoon now, 1:25. So it was morning early, when we started. But
It's quite early.
yeah.
Okay, here comes Eddie.
Yay! Hi, Eddie. How are you?
Hello, just let me sit.
Oh,
I'm doing absolutely brilliant. I need to turn Facebook off, don't I? That's it. Here we go.
Yeah, we got you. We got you, Eddie. We've got you.
I thought there was a voice in my head, then you're all right.
Yeah, we'll forgive you for being a Liverpool fan, but it's okay.
Not even wrong there.
So, for me, if I may continue to work with you, Eddie, if you don't mind.
Hang on.
Thank you.
There you go, mate. There you go, mate.
Good day.
Someone's got to.
Anyway, no football is banned, Mr. Bannister. You said last week.
Well, I can't be if I support Norwich.
Well,
yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I'm really sorry that your dad is having some chest problems. I did want to bring that forward. I know that you say your sister's name is Olivia, so I want to come to you. I know immediately my guides, when we talk about the angels, an angel immediately was coming behind you, but I wanted to reference to mom. So I know that also too, I want to bring in that deeper love with mom. Would you understand this?
Yes. Definitely.
Okay. And there's something about either not being able to be there, or there's something in reference to not being able to say goodbye is the sense that I'm feeling. So I know that there's this feeling of wanting to be there more. Would you understand this?
Yeah, I'm a full-time care worker, so I can't be here all day long, which is a problem with you at the moment.
So Spirit is very much aware of this, of your thoughts and your concerns. So I feel like when I come to you, it's like, it's okay. Cut some, don't be so hard on yourself. It's like Spirit, you put the intent to Spirit world. So I know that I'm feeling into them saying, we got this and we're taking care of you. I feel that you have gone through some changes yourself. And so I know
Yes,
that
definitely.
I want to validate congratulations, because you're taking some steps forward. And whether this is recovery or just healing and just that gentleness, I want to acknowledge that you're doing an amazing job. There's like this celebration coming in. I feel like I want to go back to November, and you made an intent where you said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going into this feeling of like, I'm going to correct this. And so this is where January came in, and you found yourself in a situation again, and that's okay. And so know with this happening, it's like, okay, we got this again. So by summertime, things will start to feel uplifted and spirit, like you're going to be in that full-on power, right? Like, let's bring that power to you. Studying and education, you were the one that said knowledge is power. Is this true?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So really take time to understand what you're going through and bring in those books and go into those classes, because I feel that you're being drawn to work with certain gentlemen and certain people, and that nudge from spirit is saying you're right on it. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm going to leave you with that, Eddie, and I'm going to let Paul or Jane add to that as they would like to. So thank you for jumping in here.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.
Eddie, do you want to ask Jane a question?
No, I was just wondering. I've always had an issue with electronic equipment as well. It's like it comes in phases. Like I just broke everything the last couple of weeks. Just wondering if there's anything going on, because I just felt like a pivotal rise in my energy as well, which is like just complete breaking stuff around me.
It's really common, Eddie, especially if you're working with spirit. So I can give you an example of what happened to me. I sat in a dentist chair, the light wouldn't work, and I had to have my teeth cleaned, and the brush thing didn't work. The dentist changed the bulb in the light, and it still didn't work. And the guy looked at me and said, that's never happened in 25 years of practice. My daughter got into the chair afterwards, and the lights came on and everything worked. So it's a normal experience
I broke 3 fish tank lights, and they cost me like £100 each to replace. So
yeah, is there any way you could put the fish tank near the window so it gets the light and save on the electricity? Maybe that could be the way forward.
I've got 8 of them, so anyway, we'll go down.
Yeah.
Big window.
There's not a lot you can do with that, really. Go on, Jane.
From my understanding, it's actually called an electrical slider. And so I am also an electrical slider. So when I get angry, all of my electronics fail. Yeah, they will all, my laptop will fail, my printer will fail, my phone will fail, my TV will fail, everything will fail. But as soon as I become aware, like, when you're angry, but as soon as I'm aware that everything's failing, I will calm my energy down, and then things start working. So for me, it's like a fine balance. It's more like a meter as to where I'm sitting, if I'm calm and collected or if I'm angry. So it is an actual phenomenon, and it's called an electrical slider.
My dad would never let me touch any of his photographic equipment back in the days. Get away from it, you're not allowed.
Yes, I used to work at a neurofeedback company, and I was a technician, and we had to look at 14 computers. And I would come downstairs into the control room, and all of the computers would fail. And my boss would say, Jane, can you leave the room? And I'd leave the room, go up the stairs, they would all come back on.
I give things away, and it just works with people automatically. It's not when I give it away.
Yes. So I would look up electrical slider, because there's a bit of information out there. Oh, really?
Me neither. That's
really?
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Trudy says that as well.
Yeah, my phone will drop all the time when I have clients over the phone. It'll just drop, and I have to say to spirit, please don't drop the call. And when I say, please don't drop the call doesn't get dropped. But it's me. I can feel electrical currents coming out of my hands.
Wow.
So electrical slider, that's what it is.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Eddie. That's awesome. I have got another gentleman coming through that wants to contact. I don't think it's for you, though, young man. So we're going to say goodbye to you. But
Okay.
thank you. It's Eddie. It's lovely to meet you because I know you come on the show a lot, and it's lovely to put a face to a name. It's brilliant.
Shit. Okay, thank you. Many blessings all. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
You take care.
Thank you, Eddie.
Okay.
Take
Thanks for
care.
coming on, Eddie.
Thank you, Debbie. Bless you.
Thank
Bye. Bye. Debbie, that was awesome. That was
so cool.
I've got a quick message to give. I've got a gentleman coming in from the spirit world. I know his dad, and he talks to me like his dad. And I know he would have had an issue with one of his legs. Now, I'm not sure if I'm this side of life in terms of UK or whether I'm in America or even abroad. I'm not sure. It gives me the name John, but also I'm very dizzy and disorientated as well with him. I know he would have had heart circulation problems. I know he passed into the spirit world with a heart attack. I know there was other issues with him as well, but dad's energy, I can feel dad's energy is strong. Okay. Also, he's trying to give me the initial M. M is trying to give me. I'm not sure if I just saw. This is the problem when you see someone's name on the screen. Is that connected to them? I've got a McDowell, Carol McDowell on the screen. John spelt like that. Yes, John, absolutely. John. I know his dad though, Jordan. He's a dad. He would be a dad, and I know he would. And it's really hi, Lou. I know he would also have this leg issue. I know heart is a very common way of going, but I know this passing into the spirit world. But I know this gentleman was a really honest man. He was a really genuine man, really authentic man. Said it as it is. Okay, potentially. Would you also he would have talked about flipping a coin as well, making could be with my husband Nick, father-in-law John, passed of heart attack, wife's name was okay. Would you understand that he would have been a very generous man, but if there was an argument or an issue that needs to solve, it was almost like flip a coin, the heads or tails. Okay, he had that kind of attitude. He was right. Don't give me any information, Jordan. Thank you. If you understand the information coming through, that's great. But if you give me information, it can block me. I know his leg was an issue, so it could be Jordan. Would you know of his problem with his leg? Yep, that's him. She said, you understand the flipping of the coin. Jordan, if you want to come in, please jump on the link. That's really interesting. I really feel must be your energy, Debbie. I feel wired tonight.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you feel that as well, Jane?
Yes.
So I'm very aware of Jane's dad standing behind her as well. I'm also aware there's a gentleman standing behind you, Debbie. He's been there all evening.
Yeah.
And I know it's a family member rather than a guide. There's a family member, really strong, really beautiful soul standing behind you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I don't know what's going on. You've obviously brought them all in tonight, Debbie.
We roll deep.
Can you come back on?
Totally.
We've loved having you here tonight.
Totally.
Guys, if you can see the link, please jump in. I'm going to keep going with the information. There's the link there. It's in the comments. And there's Jane's lovely face. A quick plug for Jane Dance Media.
Yay!
Yay!
So is there a link? Yeah, it's just literally, I've just put it up. It's also in the go to the comments, Jordan. You'll see that. Okay, depends on where you're coming in from. Okay, I'm just going to keep going because I'm very aware that people need to go to bed. It's late in the UK, and Debbie's probably got a full day of working.
Yeah.
Quickly while we're waiting. Is there anything else you want to plug, Debbie? Anything coming up you want to share with us?
You can find me on Transcend with Debbie on all platforms, and you'll find we're always busy, we're always active, and we're always serving for spirit. So there's always something going on.
Yeah. Awesome. I've been seeing your face pop up all over the place.
You're like, who's this girl?
I'm like, who is this girl? We've got to get her on the show.
Oh, the light just gets bright. So my paranormal is when it gets really bright, it's like there's this proudness and energy just comes in. It's so cool when it happens.
Yeah, I'm shouldn't be doing this, but I'm connecting with you spiritually as well. I'm very
Go
aware.
for it.
You help.
Mm-hmm.
There's also there's a gentleman hang on. Okay. I'm really gutted if she can't come on. Is it Paul's dad? I don't recognize it as Paul's dad. I've read for Lou before. I don't recognize. There is no look on Facebook. Can you go on to Spiritual Talk Live? You'll see it on there, Jordan. Okay, but you understand the flipping the coin to make a decision as well. He's also talking about a letter that's been received recently for somebody else. There's a lot of pressure on a particular person. I'm not sure if it's a son or son-in-law. There's a lot of pressure on this person at this moment in time financially. There's a difficult decision he has to make. Okay, and also, oh my gosh, it's definitely for you, Jordan, because I've just heard the name Riley. Absolutely, bang on. Okay. Believes this is for her, but somehow can't access the chat. I'm not sure. I just heard the name Riley. So, but I've got a gentleman standing behind you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Debbie, did you know you work with famous people in the spirit world?
I do.
You've got Tupac behind you.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That'll make sense. So go for it. Open it up. Huh?
Hey,
Open it up.
Yeah, he's like, you're his girl.
Oh, I love that.
He absolutely loves what you do. Now, I believe he's talking about his mum was into this.
Yes. Okay.
His mum was really into this. She was a real wise soul. Okay. He was a naughty boy when he was younger, he's telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I don't follow him. I've never followed him. So this is good. I might get some good evidence. Okay. He's talking about being connected to you. I also know there's a gentleman with you that passed into the spirit world with heart attack. Okay, I know this is family rather than Tupac, but you work with the stars, and you're gonna work with the stars. I'm being told.
I have. Yes.
You've got Hollywood calling. I don't know what part of the world you're in.
Yeah, I'm an hour from Hollywood. I've had my share of shows in Hollywood. Yes.
Which is why he's coming in. Awesome. Oh, well, I've never had Tupac come in.
Well,
ever.
I love that. Isn't that cool though? That this is the intelligence of spirit. They're like, girl, you're going to Hollywood. Let's all go. Come on.
Yeah. I'm seeing you on a chat show. Absolutely seeing you on a chat show. Yeah, Oprah, here we come. I hope she's watching. You were on Spiritual Talk first.
Yeah.
She's my neighbor. No, Oprah's up the road. Like, I go hang out where she hangs out. She don't know I'm there yet, though, but I'm there. I'm making my moves.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh, you're wonderful.
We might have to shut down because we've been going for so long. We've been going 1 hour, 40 minutes. I'm so sorry, Jordan. Hopefully I can give you this message. I'll send you the message it's giving you. Okay, don't worry. You won't miss out because we could go and go and go. We've been going for almost 1 hour, 40 minutes. It's been an absolute privilege coming on, Debbie. I'm just going to get ready for the end because, well, we've done really well. And Facebook hasn't shut us down this week because it shut us down last week. It went completely off.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was the electronic slider thing, Jane.
Might have been, might have been.
I'm loving that. So we're gonna slide our way out of here.
Slide out. I've got a cheesy trailer to go out on. So, guys, thank you, everybody. Oh, we did pick a winner. We haven't forgotten this week, so that's great. We will see you all again this time. Well, 8 o'clock next week in the UK.
And 12 p.m. in Canada on the West Coast.
Awesome.
Yes.
And thank you, Debbie, for joining us once again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, both of you. Thank you, everyone, for
Bye, everyone.
chiming in. Bye.
Bye. Bye.